Donald Trump's government shutdown is 3 weeks in. Now, I know everyone's going to run to the comments and start getting angry, but this is really about how no one is coming to save you and you need to have your own money and investments so when the shit hits the fan, you're not in trouble. Take a look. Everyone's been saying, well, don't worry about these poor government shutdown workers who are furloughed. They're going to get back pay. They're going to get paid back eventually when things open. But what about in the meantime? We all know that most Americans are one paycheck away from financial ruin. Most Americans, or at least about half, don't have an emergency savings account, don't have money stashed away in case, aren't invested. I mean, some people are invested for, retirement in Roth IRAs and 401ks and pensions and stuff, but a lot of people don't have their own individual accounts. If you're following me, I talk about this all the time. You need to have an individual account so you can tap into stuff you don't really want to, but if you have to. Here we have this quote from Donald Trump. Asked if furloughed workers will get retroactively paid, Trump said, "It depends." Trump on Tuesday suggested he would select some federal workers to receive back pay while denying it for others. Meanwhile, in Maryland, Donald Trump's shutdown is sending federal workers to local food banks. You know that quote about us having more in common with the homeless guy than the billionaire? Hello? Now, if you're in your 40s and you don't have an emergency savings and you don't have an investment account, this video, unfortunately, isn't for you. If you're in your early 20s and you are embarking on the next step of your life, wondering if you should get a job in the government or a job here or a job there, no job is safe, no job is secure. This kind of stuff can happen in any space. In fact, I just saw a headline earlier that said that Meta, Facebook, laid off 600 workers today. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go here to schwab.com and you're going to click right below it where it says open an account. You're going to be presented with a bunch of options. The two you're going to open are a Roth IRA and an individual brokerage account. This is for retirement, for when you're 59 and a half and over. So don't worry about touching this money until then. Yes, there are exceptions. Yes, there are penalties that you can pay, but you really don't want to access that money until you're almost 60. That's what this money is for. In addition to your 6 to 12 months rainy day fund that you have or that you should start adding to now, a little bit, it grows and builds and builds and builds. And one day, if you start now when you're 20, when you're 36 years old and the shit hits the fan, you've got a decade and a half of savings that you slowly contributed to that now give you that cushion, that nest egg. In addition to that, you're going to want some investments. Now, I'm a big fan of a setup like this. You can take a screenshot of this or save this video so you can come back and check on it later. But if you're in your 20s to 40s, maybe consider going 100% in your Roth IRA with the technology fund and then a S&P 500 and dividend fund and any individual stocks in your individual account. Now, let's say you start investing a little bit when you're 20 and a little bit becomes a little bit more and a little bit more. And now you're 36. It's been almost a decade and a half. The shit hits the fan. You're laid off. You've got rent. You've got groceries. You've got kids. You've got elderly parents you're taking care of. You've got all these big grown-up responsibilities all hitting you all at once. And you go, uh-oh, I'm going to burn through my emergency savings. Good thing I've got my investments. You don't really want to have to touch these things, but you're going to be really glad that the opportunity is there so you don't go into debt or you don't get foreclosed upon or you don't get evicted from your home. And you can start trimming back a little bit on your 15 years of investments in S&P, in dividend. You can take the dividends in cash instead of having them get reinvested in the S&P and in the dividend fund. And you can kind of get by, worst case scenario, if you have to.